When you have a frequency table, you can make it more interesting by adding a few more columns. You can look at something called cumulative frequencies. What's cumulative? Cumulative is when everything is counted. And basically, it's everything up to that point. It's not hard to do. Let me show you. So this would be everybody up to 63 inches tall. Okay, that's 5. The next cumulative frequency will be everybody up to 67. That would be 5 plus 9. And the third one is going to be everybody up to 71, which will be 18. So you take this one, add the next one, that gives you a cumulative frequency. 18 and 1. The last cumulative frequency is 19, which happens to be the same as the total number of people that I started with. Okay. Now let's look at something called relative frequencies. What do you think relative frequencies are? Does that have to do with how often my in-laws come around to make a nuisance of themselves? No. It has to do with what portion of the group falls into each class. You can express relative frequencies as a fraction, percent, or decimal, depending on your taste. On the homework, you should read the instructions to see which one they want. So I'm going to write them as a fraction and as a percent. It's just the number in the class divided by the total. So 5/19 of the group is in the first class. 9/19 is in the second. 4/19 in the third, and 1/19 in the last. Those are weird fractions. Let's make them percents. How do we do that? Calculator. 26.3%. Sorry, 47.4%, because I am rounding to the nearest 1/10 of a percent. So, the relative frequencies expressed as both fractions and as percents. So, 47.4% of the group falls into the second class. And only 5.3% of the group is in the biggest class, that of people over 6 feet tall. What do you think would happen if I added up all these numbers? Can you make a guess? Yeah, it should all add up to 100%. Let's see if it does. I got 100.1%. Is something wrong? No, it just happens with the rounding. But if you'd gotten like 80%, you'd know you did something wrong. So your relative frequencies should all add up to 1 or to 100%. That is how you do relative frequencies. Okay, one last column for this table. I know this ain't the most fun thing. I promise this gets more fun. So, the class midpoints. What do you think a class midpoint is? It's the middle of the class limits. Actually, I should make that column bigger. So it's in the middle of 60 and 63, which is 123 over 2, which is 61.5. Same with the other three. So that would be 69.5. And the last one, sorry, 73.5. Okay, we now have a giant frequency table which has taken over the entire board. And you know what a frequency table is, and it can be used to organize information. Most of the time in practice, people don't put all of these columns on one table. I just wanted to show you in a single example.